Geez, okay, so to clarify, because I'm in the NLP mix-up of getting confused purposefully, they're confusing me. There's a double entendre of no body. It also means non-bodied monitors. So beware and try and not use that in few-word double speak for TI interacting with the monitors that Kevin Christian describes and so many TIs that he's interviewed. If you say nobody should be in your mind and body, like is happening to Kevin Christian and I, it's actually a non-statement to the EMF, or actually permissive from their point of views of wicked advantages of non-bodied illegal sender-receiver relationships with people that are EMF perpetrators. So no consciousness entity feeling, synthetic telepathy, sense, astral phenomena, anything should be in your body. I feel like in a Pollyannish, puritanical, if you know the world really is anti-Christian, there are some people that probably should be made TI, and I really got mixed up in the ones that shouldn't have a lot of political distance too, and that's really what I was. And but anyways, I can't fix everybody being a TI, and mitigation is something I work at. Pot, lead clothes, and 52 level magnets, music, even scatter frequencies that I haven't been using. You know, they break in and disrupt equipment from the EMF, and microaggressions may be another way to look at it. A third sector charity worker, behind the scenes wonk, cut short in his prime, disabled by elements in the deep state, and a falsified concoction of national security issues that were like 15, 20 years out planning, where I was, along with attacks on my whole house, allegedly, including cousins, Mormon cousins, which is, and I have Irish Catholic cousins and family, in problem reaction solution stuff, I'm trying not to get triggered, because they'll make a problem for me, even like bouncing around in the ping pong of the secret warfare with your mind, and then have the reactions already calculated. Like at speed of thought, like, whoa, we've totally done this before. Who are you, Junior? Like, for a shelved plan that can literally come out of nowhere. And yeah, involve killing people. So I get made a fool of by people in like Command Central and community-based agents and folks that needed to not use NLP and learn to talk directly to somebody again. And they were prevented systematically. Community destroyed. My aunt tortured. My mom remote torture tinnitus. My dad possibly a remote torture stroke. I haven't talked to my brothers in years. Isolated, surrounded by perps. Like Heavy T, who did Stay Strong Targeted Individual, reporting on him being a TI, talked about his wife getting replaced with an EMF perp. He suspected it was a reptilian. It was most like an EMF perp, a real human in another location on headsets. Divisions between he and his daughter, his community. They pulled his consciousness out of his body, like right here, when he was asleep with the brain-computer interface, and dragged him through an EMF broadcast of his town. So his consciousness gets pulled out like they do with the headgear, separate the consciousness from the body, and then he's in the EMF sub-reality, and they like dragged him through his town. And then maybe roughed him up or something like that in the EMF sub-reality. Somebody in these criminal gangs did 2 suns in the sky on him. He was able to catch it on camera. I saw that out in Redmond. Fake news are true. There was a Oregonian that had perps that made this TI. I'm pretty sure it was a TI. Kept using NLP and trickery and Satanism and Lord of Illusion School, Luciferian International Agenda. Bullshit. This guy, Northwest man, like myself, had kids, was told to kill himself repeatedly in street theater, and then they faked his dog telling him to kill himself. And so with this technology, the dog's mouth really doesn't move, but the cones and rods from the people looking out your eyes and then broadcasting and stuff make it appear before your eyes that the dog's mouth moves, and then they have audio to go with it, so it's totally deceptively not discernible. I ended up killing a dog in Redmond under the same circumstances when it was the broadcast I was mad at, and the dog's mouth really didn't move. And that's really how it is. The same technology can be used to be in front of my iPad thingy here, my flip-floppy, to disrupt just the surface of the Amazon 8 HD, maybe this bad boy is. You're on fire. He's got some juice. And this is when I slow down from speed of thought to even talk also. Anyways, Perpetualis, getting beat up, speed of thought. Oh, Heavy T. So Heavy T, like, in his, this woman like reads Latin or something like that. This is not my wife. He thought it was a toy. I had that same. They want to look tougher than they are. It's like most likely, definitely, if not certainly, an EMF perp who's a human in another location, making hell for Heavy T. So I've tried to connect with him a little bit on YouTube and give him some good advice for longevity. We get fed such bad information, and day-to-day can be manipulated, garbage in, garbage out. Walking around with shells in our pockets and dirt on our feet and being told that's going to stop the broadcast. Similarly, how deceptive it is. A $600 million donation to schizophrenia because they turned the broadcast off when the billionaire's kid took his meds, and it was really like what Kevin Christian and I are talking about. Extrajudicial. Paramilitary. And it very much is. And I'm not the only MK Ultra some in the United States, and we're being wickedly abused. There was a man 2019 years ago who had his chakra shredded too, entangled with a devil or few, so that we wouldn't have to go through this specifically. And then they're misled at moments of death in the moon, and they get memory wiped and never get to what they're told they're supposed to get, and it's just this suffering stasis with mind memory wipes. Like, I'm Buddhist. We really got to empower people to save themselves. I think big box Christianity is setting people up to be handled by deviant sub-reality EMF perps, and I don't like it. And lefty shake right, I'm a wonk and love bipartisanship, but they'll slice and dice this West Coast wonky Democrat any way they can to get at these nuts, because I'm top 1% in the world, or would have been if I was allowed my own brain, was when I was a young man, and still managed to conquer my kingdoms of higher ed. 7 wonderful campuses and delightful staff and educators and students. And it's much more complicated than universities, obviously. I mean, we have a homeless crisis in Oregon. Even what happened between anti-fascists and Proud Boys cost our city money. I get so much fake news, I don't even know my ass from a hole in the ground. At my ass from a hole in the ground, pardon the French. And I invented the destroyer of remote torture rape codes in N52 level magnets, a medical glove wrapped in rubber, tie it off, even some tape back there. It's nothing internal, it's external. And there you go. Leave it there for 6 months, night and day, and get back to me, because you probably won't be getting rape coded. And open source that, and don't let anybody ever patent it. That was my idea, among many other things. Because I'm a TI, I don't have a Bill of Rights, a Constitution. There's no patent office in the United States that perps would meet me there. It's slavery of the worst kind. So, Tim Young, BS MPA, Now, Jeffrey Edward Taylor, BS MPA, and changing my name didn't stop the perping. It didn't change my birthday. The language of the universe is math. And they're told on the perp end that there's nothing after death. These monitored consciousnesses ruining the human condition from here to Africa. I mean, I get told whoppers. I'm misled tactically, strategically, obsessively, and as an addiction by these monitors. But that is a big whopper. That is, no, we really fucked you. And that wasn't me. So, at and after moments of death, avoid the white tunnel of light. And it could, be hologrammed in anything. They may shift around the planets, the stars, and shit like that. Look for what has depth in the fabric of space-time, like in the darkness of it. Like astrophysics is the best info I have when you could have taken mercy on a boy, a child, coming to it. And that was before I got polluted by all this shit. Somebody would say, oh, it's only early BCI, and blah, 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 blah. But that's still tactic, because the trajectory could be like, is he going to get deep stated? Are they going to go after these nuts? And sure enough, they did. That may be the most correct, reliable information in terms of astrophysics and not belief or synthetic telepathy, torture from here to the moon, in the spirit of folks like Stephen Hawking and so many others. Buddha, Lord Buddha, my Lord, who was a man, not a monitor. Very important. Endured similar challenges. Mars armies. Legions of demons. And these ones use NLP right in your head so much you want to kill yourself, so I don't want to kill myself. But I think I planned my death then about 50, it's maybe by 70. And it's legal in Oregon, and I may not be able to own a gun as a TI, but I sure can still buy some sticks of dynamite and, fucking dynamite made in China, where a lot of Buddhists are. They're getting broadcast and tortured too. They don't want it. And thanks for inventing China, or dynamite again, China. I don't have the constitutional rights to buy a gun, but I can still buy that, even as a TI. So, and it's legal, assisted suicide's legal on the books, but I don't, because I'm a TI, they would deep state sleep a judge and then replace him as a perp to fuck me. And the guy wakes up like a day later and he doesn't miss any time. Shit's happened to me too. I'm a two-dimensional walking JPEG to a season 360 degrees kind of big views of the fourth plane EMF perp sub-reality broadcast around 3D. And then there may be so much more above that I can't really comprehend. That maybe we don't talk to them either. I don't want it to be illusionary hope. Ascension is dissension. So many word twists and insult compliments. Like going around doing psyops saying I'd have baby Jesus means they would make my kid another tortured TI. So, and nobody saves you but you. There's no savior model in this. It's Buddhism with some astrophysics, I think. Even if it was early BCI, it was mercy, fail-safe programming, and then I can just be like, gift to all of you. Go see the neighborhood. So I'm growing out my Charlemagne here. I wanted to get down to the belly. I'm just gonna let it go and just rock that whole thing. And then when I get it all crafty in the way I wanted, then I'll call it the Charlemagne, because that's my ancestor, among a lot of other dudes from the White House. Yeah. Go Ducks.